The old house had always been the pride of the family. A century-old structure passed down through generations, it hid echoes of distant memories within its walls. Mariana, the youngest in the family, always felt a connection to the place, even though shadows danced at night in the darkest corners of the corridors. However, in recent months, something disturbing began to happen. Valuable items, jewelry, old paintings, and small relics that belonged to Mariana's great-grandmother started mysteriously disappearing. The problem? Only Mariana and her cousin, Isabel, lived in the house. The two had always been close, but now a growing suspicion settled between them. That afternoon, Mariana was sitting in the living room, her eyes fixed on an old photo of her great-grandmother. She was holding a gold necklace that, until last week, had been locked in the family's safe. Mariana's heart pounded as she tried to make sense of things. "It doesn't make sense," she murmured. "Who could be doing this? There are no signs of a break-in. It has to be someone inside." Isabel, who had just entered the room with a cup of tea, observed her for a few seconds before approaching. "Is everything okay, Mari?" Isabel asked softly but attentively. "You seem distracted." Mariana hesitated, but the growing suspicion spoke louder. "Isabel, have you noticed some things have gone missing around here? Grandma's necklace, for instance," Mariana said, trying to hide her nerves. Isabel's eyes narrowed. She placed her teacup on the table and sat beside Mariana, visibly intrigued. "Are you suggesting that I—" Isabel began, but Mariana cut her off with a quick gesture. "No," Mariana exclaimed, quickly lowering her voice. "That's not it. It's just, I don't know what to think anymore." Isabel remained silent for a moment, her dark eyes studying Mariana. Tension between the cousins had been growing each day. Mariana couldn't ignore the signs. Isabel frequently left the house late at night, returning hours later, looking anxious, as if hiding something. "I need to find out the truth before it's too late," Mariana thought, determined to stay up and observe Isabel. That same night, Mariana secretly followed Isabel down to the basement, a place both of them had avoided since childhood, thanks to the stories their family told about the old inhabitants. Mariana stopped at the slightly ajar door and peeked inside. Isabel was kneeling in front of a wall, whispering something. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the stone walls. "I feel your presence here," Isabel murmured, her voice low and almost imperceptible. "I need help. They think it's me." Mariana stepped back in shock. Who was Isabel trying to contact? Her heart raced, and she moved far enough back to avoid being seen, but she couldn't stop thinking about what she had just witnessed. In the following days, Mariana started noticing strange signs around the house. Doors closing on their own, whispers coming from upstairs, and a constant chill in the air, even on warm days. Lights flickered at night, and shadows seemed to move in the corners of her vision. Convinced that something supernatural was happening, she decided to confront Isabel. "I followed you," Mariana said one night, her voice full of determination. "I know you're hiding something. Why were you in the basement talking to yourself?" Isabel sighed deeply, her eyes tired. After a long silence, she finally sat beside her cousin, as if she had been carrying a heavy burden for far too long. "I knew you were suspicious of me," Isabel admitted, "but it's not me stealing. There's something in this house, Mari. I've tried to understand what's happening, but it's not me. Something or someone is here with us." Mariana frowned, fear and doubt swirling in her mind. "Are you talking about the spirits our grandmother always mentioned?" Mariana asked, reluctant to believe what she was hearing. Isabel nodded. "I started noticing strange things months ago, but I was too scared to tell you," Isabel explained, her voice trembling. "I went to the basement because I felt that's where the answer lies. There's a presence here, something trying to communicate, or maybe protect something." Determined to solve the mystery, the two cousins decided to investigate the basement further. The next night, they took flashlights and descended together. The air was thick, and the silence screamed. As they rummaged through old trunks and dusty furniture, they noticed a section of the wall that sounded hollow to the touch. "Help me open this," Mariana said, her heart pounding with nervousness. With some effort, they managed to open a secret compartment in the wall. Inside, they found an old chest, sealed with the family's symbol. Inside were relics far more valuable than those that had gone missing: jewelry, ancient documents, and photos of the house's old residents. At the bottom of the chest was a golden key, glowing with an eerie, supernatural light. "What is this?" Mariana whispered as Isabel stared at the key with a mixture of fascination and fear. Suddenly, the room grew unbearably cold. The cousins exchanged looks, but before they could react, a ghostly figure appeared before them. It was an elderly woman, dressed in clothes from another era, with deep, sorrowful eyes. "I've protected this place for generations," the figure said in an ethereal voice that echoed through the stone walls. "But now, you are ready to understand." Isabel took a cautious step forward, her eyes filled with questions. "Was it you who hid the jewelry?" Isabel asked, her voice shaky. "Why?" The figure smiled faintly, but her presence began to fade, blending into the surrounding darkness. "My mission was to safeguard the family's legacy," the ghost whispered, her voice becoming a distant echo. "You have uncovered the secret. Now, it is in the right hands." In the days that followed, the missing jewelry and objects began mysteriously reappearing in various rooms of the house. But something else had changed. The cousins could still feel the spirit's presence, but now it was less threatening, almost as if they were bidding farewell. The lights stopped flickering, and the coldness vanished, restoring a sense of home. "I think we finally understand," Mariana said one night as the two sat together in the living room, the chest of relics between them. "Our family always hid secrets, and the spirits just wanted to make sure we were ready to take care of them." Isabel, now more at ease, looked at her cousin with a soft smile. "Now we know the house is never really empty," Isabel said with a tone of relief. "But they don't want to hurt us, they just want to protect what's theirs." As time passed, the cousins rebuilt the bond that had once been threatened by suspicion and fear. They began restoring the old objects and retelling the family's stories as a way to honor the legacy left behind. The house, once filled with shadows, now brimmed with living memories and stories that could never be forgotten. And so, peace returned to the house. The family's legacy was safe, and the spirits that once haunted the walls could finally rest. And so, Mariana and Isabel discovered that the true secrets of the house weren't just in the family's relics, but in the connection they shared with the old inhabitants who never truly left. With the mystery resolved and peace restored, the house became a real home again, filled with memories and stories that were now in safe hands. If you enjoyed this story filled with mystery and twists, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next ones. Here, you'll always find captivating stories full of suspense and surprises. And of course, hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever a new video is released. See you in the next story.